Hello again, Junior Church. Lovely to be with you again this Sunday. Now, we're going to carry on with another Friends and Heroes episode this week. And this one is called Samson and Delilah. Now, I wonder if you already know the story of Samson from the Bible. You might do. But of course, there will be a little story about Mackie and Rebecca and Leah to accompany that, as it helps us to understand the story of Samson, Delilah as well. So I'm going to play the video now. I'll share my screen with you and we will have a look at this video together. Here we go.
The armies of the great Roman Empire conquered all before them, even my home, the port of Alexandria in Egypt. When I grew up there, everyone called me Mackie. The city was full of secrets and intrigue. The governor, fearful that the Jewish rebellion in nearby Judea would spread, ordered a crackdown on the Jews and Christians. But my friends and I never gave in. We shared the stories of our people's heroes, and soon we became heroes too.
What they want?
Who? The Romans? That's easy. They want to rule the whole world.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, but I have this feeling it's better to rule than be ruled.
Help! Help! Mackie, be careful! Like you ever listen to me.
Are you all right?
Am I all right? What does it look... I'm fine, fine. Can't say the same for my dress, though. Who are you?
I'm Maccabeus. Mackie. My mother's a dressmaker in Delta Quarter. She could probably make you another dress.
Oh, it's nothing. But I'm going to see that you get a substantial reward for this.
A reward? Well, thanks, but I couldn't. Not for doing something like this.
Mackie, look at this. Look, she's a Roman.
Of course I'm a Roman. You make it sound like something to be ashamed of.
Well, around here,
That's enough, Rebecca. We have to be going now. Ride safely. Ha! Ha! Yeehaw!
Ooh, Portia, is that you?
Who else would it be? Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to talk to my uncle.
Oh, but you can't be walking around in that muddy dress. Here, let me buy you another one.
But...
Not enough. Have some more. I want you to find the best dressmaker in Alexandria and have her make a really beautiful dress for you. And when your uncle sees you in it, be sure to tell him who paid for it. Okay?
Of course.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Uncle.
Oh, Portia. What now?
A little disagreement with a horse in a puddle, that's all. What do you know about Delta Quarter?
My child, you're new here, so I will excuse your ignorance. Delta Quarter is a major trouble spot. Lots of rebels and criminal types hiding there. No place for a high-born Roman like you. Why do you ask?
Oh, just curious. Excuse me? Do you have a son named Mackie?
Yes, I'm afraid I do.
Then you're the one I've been looking for.
I am.
You're a dressmaker, right? I need a new dress.
Mother, I found that fabric you...
Hello, Mackie. Last time we met, I was a little muddier.
That was you?
Mackie, your new friend here,
Portia.
Portia, was telling me she needs a dress. But why would a Roman come all the way to Delta Quarter for something like that?
Let's just say I'm in the mood for something a little more fashionable than the palace tailors could make.
The palace?
Governor Tiberius is my uncle. Why don't you come by the palace later and take my measurements for a fitting?
Later. The palace. No problem.
Why are you doing this to me?
Show him. This is a list of all the merchants. Broticus here puts a check mark next to your name when you pay your tax. And you'll notice there's no mark after your name.
But I did pay last month.
Tobias!
Portia, what are you doing in the Delta Quarter?
Getting a new dress, remember? But what are you doing to this man? He says he already paid.
Why, this is another tax, his candle tax.
Candle tax?
Oh, yes. Your uncle's making people pay lots of new taxes, for the benefit of the city, of course. If someone doesn't pay, it means he doesn't have any respect for your uncle. And we can't have that, can we?
I suppose not. Why are you looking at me like that? The man didn't pay his candle tax.
I can't believe you're actually going to make a dress for that girl.
Why shouldn't I? Portia's a customer, and she paid her money like anyone else.
She's a Roman customer. And didn't you see what those other Romans did to the candle maker?
Rebecca, not all Romans are like that.
But they're certainly not like us. Mackie, I remember how my father used to tell us the Samson and Delilah story. Samson was wild and handsome, and really, really strong. Samson wasn't afraid of anything, not even the Philistines when they showed up. Naturally, the Philistines wanted to get rid of him. But Samson was just too strong. Samson fell in love with Delilah, even though she was a Philistine. Now, his enemies saw their chance. The Philistine chiefs wanted to know the secret to Samson's strength. They paid Delilah to find out.
Tell me, Samson, why are you so strong? What makes you weak and helpless? Please, Please tell me.
Just tie me up with 7 bowstrings.
Samson, the Philistines are here!
Delilah realized Samson hadn't really told her the secret. But Delilah wouldn't give up. She kept nagging poor Samson until he told her the real secret.
I have been under a vow since I was born. If my hair is cut off, I will be as weak as other men.
This time, Delilah knew Samson had told her the truth.
Samson, the Philistines are here!
Samson thought he'd escape as usual, but this time he couldn't. His strength was gone. The Philistines blinded him and threw him into prison. A year passed. Samson's hair began growing back. The crowd at the Philistine temple wanted to see Samson. They used to be afraid of Samson, but now they just wanted to laugh at him.
Let me feel the temple pillars. I need to lean on them. Oh God, remember me. Give me my strength again. Just once more.
Well, that's a cheerful story.
Rebecca, the Romans are not the Philistines.
Maybe, but if I were you, I wouldn't let that girl anywhere near my hair.
I'm not sure I like this color.
So, this week we want to understand how sometimes we can be weak, can't we? And we all need God's help. Now, in this story today, Mackie meets Portia, and Rebecca is hostile towards Portia and towards Mackie, and the friendship starts to develop between them. And this is because Portia is a Roman. And she knows, doesn't she, that Tobias and Bruticus are extorting money from the shop owners in the Delta Quarter. Now, Rebecca sees this as good evidence to have nothing at all to do with the Romans, including Portia. So she tells the story of Samson and Delilah because she believes it supports her view of foreigners and how they cannot be trusted. Now, when I'm talking about foreigners, I'm talking about anybody who's not of the same culture or beliefs, or even from that same area, really. So she believed that all Romans were the same and that Portia would be exactly the same. So you imagine, thinking about the story of Samson, imagine wearing that blindfold and having to be able to do things just by somebody giving you instructions. So you couldn't see anything, you could only hear. Because once Samson was in prison, not only had he lost his strength because his hair was cut, but he also lost his sight. And as you saw, when he stood up and he said, I need to feel the pillars, it's because he couldn't see anything. Okay? So he was once very strong and able. In fact, he was probably proud of his abilities. And he thought being strong was easy, just like we might think that the simplest tasks, like opening a door or finding something that someone has asked for, is fairly easy. But think about doing that with a blindfold on. So Samson had lost his sight. That's what it would be like with a blindfold on. And somebody saying to you, open that door or go and find this. It would be really difficult to do when we're so used to having our sight to do it. But you see, he still needed help to find the temple pillars. And he was going to destroy the temple, wasn't he? but he needed help in the first place to do it. And then he also needed more help because even though his hair had started to grow back and his strength was in his hair initially, that was also given from God. So he didn't just have strength because he'd have long hair, because otherwise, I might have quite a bit of extraordinary strength and I don't. But that strength that he had actually came from God. And so he said, didn't he, oh God, remember me, give me my strength again, just once more, so that he could put right what had happened. Because he fell in love, didn't he, with Delilah, and she was up to no good. She was a Philistine. She wanted to take money, didn't she? And they bribed her with money so that she would give away Samson's secret. So he wanted to put that right because he'd lost that gift from God and he wanted it again, and he wanted to make things right with God because he knew what had happened was because of him. So who started telling the story of Samson and why? Can you remember? It was Rebecca, wasn't it? And she told it because she thought it showed that the Jewish people couldn't trust the Romans. They couldn't trust any outsiders. Now, in Samson's case, he trusted, and indeed he even married Delilah, who was a Philistine, but she ended up getting him thrown into prison just because other Philistines wanted him there. So you see, Rebecca saw Portia as a Roman. And she didn't like the Romans, did she? Remember, these children were refugees and the Romans had been looking for them. So she didn't trust them at all. But you see, Mackie and his mother, Diana, they saw Portia as a person just like them. It's just that she happened to be a Roman as well. For Mackie and Diana, the person came first, and the fact that she was a Roman came second. But for Rebecca, she really didn't see, or she didn't want to see the person at all, did she? She felt that she couldn't trust Portia because she was a Roman. And, we can feel a little bit like that sometimes, can't we? When it's somebody that we don't know, or somebody who belongs to a club or something, and we might have been treated badly by them. And so we tend to think that everybody there is exactly the same, when actually they're not. And we need to see the person first and who they are or who they belong to after that, don't we? We should also see that. We should always see the person first. So let's just pray together. Dear Heavenly Father, we know that sometimes we can be weak. Not just weak in our bodies, but sometimes in the choices we make and in our confidence. Please give us added strength when we have hard choices to make or when we are unsure about what to do next. We know that you helped Samson in this way when he prayed to you. You are our friend in high places, listening, wanting us to do our best and ready to help. We thank you for that and we praise you. Amen. So let's be reminded of that story this week and thinking about where our strength comes from, because just us by ourselves, we're weak, but we are stronger together. That means when we work with God and we allow him to work with us, we are stronger. That's when we're at our very best, and we all need his help, don't we? Now, when I finish talking, you will see a picture of a word search, okay? And there are some words on there for you to look for in that word search. You could, if you wanted to, take a screenshot of it. You could take a picture of it. You might even want to copy it all down if you pause the video and make your own word search for this story. And next week we will be back and we will be carrying on with our friends in Friends and Heroes, with Rebecca and Leah and Mackie, of course, and Portia. And we're going to find out what happens next. So is she like all the rest of the Romans, or is she actually a better person? I'll see you next week. Have a good week. Bye.
I sing praises to your name. Praises to your name. so much greater than all names.